The Runes of the Lost Lovers. It was a golden Saturday morning when Anna burst into the kitchen, Pip arcing happily at her heels. Her mother was already fussing about the stove, clattering pans as the smell of toast and fried eggs filled the air. "Slow down, Anna," her mom said, wiping her hands on her apron. "Where are you off to so early?" "To meet Daniel," Anna replied, grabbing a sandwich from the counter before her mother could object. "We're going to the meadow for a picnic." Pip, too. Her younger cousin Sam, a mischievous boy of 10, poked his head out from behind the kitchen door. "Picnic? I'm coming too." Anna groaned. "Sam, you're too little. You'll only get in the way." "I won't, I promise." "And Pip likes me more than you anyway." Sam grinned, slipping the last scone into his pocket when no one was looking. Their mother shook her head with a smile. "Oh, let him go. But mind you three, no wandering into the forest." "It's not safe," Anna muttered. "Yes, Mom," but her eyes already twinkled with excitement. The meadow was perfect. Tall grass swaying in the breeze, daisies nodding in the sunshine, and the distant shape of the old monastery ruins, just beyond the trees. Daniel had already spread out a blanket, his rucksack bulging with food. Pip ran circles around Sam, who had climbed halfway up an oak tree and was dangling from a branch like a monkey. "Come down, Sam," Daniel laughed. "You'll fall and break your neck before we even open the sandwiches." They ate heartily, ham rolls, fruitcake, ginger beer, and the scones Sam had nearly stolen all for himself. Pip whined until Daniel gave him a sausage. Afterwards, Anna lay back on the grass, gazing at the monastery ruins. "I wonder what's really inside," she murmured. "Ghosts," Sam declared, stuffing the last crumbs into his mouth. Daniel grinned. "Not ghosts, history, legends. There's talk of runes hidden in those stones." That was when Pip suddenly bolted toward the ruins, barking madly. "Pip!" Anna cried, leaping up. "Not again!" They followed Pip into the cool shadows of the monastery. Sam pretended to be brave, but stuck close to Daniel, clutching a stick as though it were a sword. The walls loomed high and broken, ivy twisting across them. In one corner, sunlight spilled onto a patch of stone, revealing carvings, faint but clear. Anna ran her fingers across them. "Look!" she gasped. The runes glowed faintly under her touch. Then, impossibly, words formed. "Anna." Sam's eyes went wide. "It knows your name." Daniel bent closer. "And mine." He pointed to another glowing word. "Daniel." The air grew suddenly colder. Pip whimpered, pressing against Anna's legs. Before they could react, a voice hissed from the shadows. "You shouldn't be here." Out stepped two rough-looking men, both carrying sacks. They smelled of smoke and ale, their eyes sharp. "Treasure hunters," Daniel whispered. One of the men sneered. "We've been watching these ruins a long time. Those runes belong to us." The other man grabbed Sam by the arm, making him yelp. "Looking gets children hurt." Daniel stepped forward bravely. "Leave him alone." The first man smirked. "Tell you what, you three open the crypt for us, and we'll let you walk out." Anna and Daniel exchanged a glance. They had no choice. The men forced them down a hidden stairwell, Pip growling all the way. The crypt was dark and damp, lit only by their lantern. The runes pulsed on the walls, and at the center stood a stone chest. "Open it," barked one of the men. Anna's hands shook as she pushed back the lid. Inside lay the silver locket and scroll. She picked up the scroll, whispering as she read, "Two lovers cursed, awaiting return to break the chain." Suddenly, the crypt shuddered, the walls groaning. Stones cracked overhead. "There's another tunnel." Daniel spotted an archway yawning open, rubble tumbling away. "Quick, before it collapses." The men shoved them forward. "Move!" The passage narrowed, forcing them to crawl on hands and knees. Cold water trickled from the ceiling, soaking their clothes. The men cursed as their sacks scraped along the jagged stone. "Keep moving," snarled one, shoving Daniel. But then a rumble. The ceiling cracked. With a deafening crash, part of the tunnel caved in behind them, sealing the way out. Sam screamed, "We're trapped!" "Not trapped," said Daniel, panting. "Just forced to go deeper." Pip barked encouragement, though even his tail drooped. They pushed on, emerging into a great cavern. Water dripped from stalactites into a pool at the center, glowing faintly with runes etched along its edges. "Look," Anna whispered. "The lover's mark." But before they could study it, more rubble rained down. The pool began to swell, water seeping faster through cracks in the floor. "Blast it!" one goon shouted. "The place is filling." Water lapped at their ankles, then their knees. They scrambled onto ledges, the men panicking. There, a shaft. Daniel pointed to a narrow chimney of rock winding upwards. "If we climb, we might reach the surface." The men tried first, but the walls were slippery. One slid back into the rising water with a splash. Anna lifted Sam. "Go. You're small. You can wriggle up." Sam scrambled like a monkey, finding cracks and ledges. Daniel followed, then Anna, with Pip scrabbling furiously behind. The goons tried again, but Pip snapped at them, barking ferociously. One cursed and fled back toward the flooded passage. The other clung on, but a surge of water swept him away. At last they emerged into another vaulted chamber. Strange symbols flickered on the walls, bright as fireflies. "The final test," Daniel murmured. "It's a cipher. We have to solve it together." The symbols rearranged themselves, glowing fiercely. Daniel touched one and hissed in pain. Wrong. The chamber rumbled, stone blocks began sliding inward. Pip whined, Sam screamed, and Anna's heart thumped like a drum. She grabbed Daniel's hand. "Pairs. They're lovers' runes. Match them." Together they traced the symbols in the right sequence. Slowly the puzzle shifted, glowing brighter. The walls stopped moving. The runes twisted into two intertwined hearts. A blinding light filled the chamber, and the shadowy figure of the curse shrieked before vanishing. The scroll shimmered with new words. "Our love is free. Through you, the bond is broken." The locket clicked open, revealing portraits of the ancient lovers, who looked uncannily like Anna and Daniel. Anna whispered, "That's why our names were here. We were chosen to finish their story." Daniel smiled faintly, exhaustion in his eyes. "And we nearly didn't. But we did." When they finally emerged, dawn light touched the sky. Sam was still trembling, but managed to grin. "That was brilliant. We fought goons, nearly drowned, climbed walls, and beat a curse." Anna laughed, ruffling his hair. "You were brave, Sam. Even Pip was braver than me." Pip barked proudly, tail wagging. Back at the cottage, Anna's mother scolded them for being late. But when she saw their dirt-streaked faces and torn clothes, her tone softened. "Whatever mischief you three got into," she sighed, "at least you came back safe." Anna exchanged a secret smile with Daniel. They had broken the curse, freed the lovers, and lived to tell the tale. And though the runes were gone, the bond between them felt stronger than ever.